Hello and welcome to the Gadgets and Gizmos show on Headlines Today. I'm Siddhartha Sharma and we'll get you all the lowdown from the world of technology on this episode. But first, here's the lineup. On the show this week, we get you the review of the all-new Samsung Galaxy Grand 2 Duos. But first up on the show, we get you the review of the two new tablets from the house of Dell. Alright, that's our lineup on the show this week. Now, tablets are the new in things, and computer giant Dell recently came up with two of them and rather gave them some unimaginative names. So first up on the show, we get you the review of the new Dell Venue 7 and Dell Venue 8. Meet the new tablets from the house of Dell computers. The all-new Dell Venue 7 and the Dell Venue 8. As their name suggests, the Venue 7 is a 7-inch Android tablet and the Venue 8 is an 8-inch one. Dell Venue 8 has an 8-inch IPS HD touch display up front and the screen resolution is actually good on this one. On the sides, it has slim bezels and you get clean line design with no flashy bling attached to it. So you can easily say that Dell is quite serious about this one. The display is good but not the best when it comes to a tablet. Venue 8 actually gives you a middle form factor between a 7-inch and a 10-inch Android tablet. It runs on Android 4.2 Jelly Bean operating system and is powered by an Intel Atom processor with 2 GB of RAM. Performance-wise, it's decent but lags sometimes when you're up for some multitasking. Inbuilt storage is 16 GB and you can expand it up to 32 GB via an SD card. For connectivity, you get Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. There is no 3G connectivity option on the Venue 8. At the back, you get a 5-megapixel camera that is capable of doing HD videos, and up front you get a 2-megapixel camera for video calling. Battery performance is decent on the Venue 8. The price on the Dell Venue 8 is Rs 17,500, which is a bit too steep considering there's not much in terms of features, and you can get most of them in lower price tablets as well these days. But what impressed us on Gadgets and Gizmos is the Dell Venue 7. Though in terms of looks, it's no different than the Venue 8, but the Venue 7 features a full HD 7-inch IPS display, which is really good. Though we would have loved a bit more brightness on the screen. Venue 7 is powered by a dual-core Intel Atom processor clocked at 1.6 GHz and has 2 GB of RAM. There are as such no lags seen by us on the Venue 7. So performance-wise, it's on the money. Venue 7 also runs on Android 4.2 Jelly Bean operating system, and at the back you get a 3-megapixel camera that is just about okay. Up front you get a 0.3-megapixel camera for video calling as well, and for connectivity, Venue 7 has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth but lacks 3G. The battery backup on this one is also good as it churned out about 10 hours easily on one full charge. All in all, the Dell Venue 7 is a good tablet, and it gets better as it's priced at just Rs 10,900. So yes, it's a good value for money budget tablet to buy with a reliable brand name to it. We would say that you can skip the Venue 8 for now, but if you are looking for a 7-inch Android tablet, Dell Venue 7 is a good one to go for. Now, Dell Venue 7 is a very good option if you're looking to buy a tablet under 10,000 rupees, because it's always good to go for a reliable brand than buy a Chinese tablet. Now, talking about Chinese, we did a budget smartphone special last week and Rishika Barua got a little upset that we didn't talk about her budget love. So next up, she joins us on the show and gets us the review of the all-new Carbon Titanium S5 Plus.
Now I'm very upset with Siddharth for having left me Out of last week's Gadgets and Gizmos special on budget smartphones, he showed you a carbon phone last week. I'm here to show you the Carbon Titanium S5 Plus this week, which is going to take sweet revenge from him. Now, this carbon phone has a 1.3 GHz quad-core processor, which is very bearable considering it's in the budget smartphone segment in the country. It has no lag, so that's really a huge plus point. It works on Android Jelly Bean operating system. It has 1 GB RAM, which is all right considering it's in this particular segment of the budget smartphones. Honestly, wish it had a little more muscle. Now, it has a 5-inch QHD touchscreen display, which is pretty smooth, but then it's not ideal. But then what more can you expect in a budget smartphone category? It is a bit reflective, so in the daylight, you do have a bit of a problem looking at this smartphone. But like most popular smartphones, it also comes with a dual SIM. Now let's talk camera, which is my favorite bit. It has an 8-megapixel rear camera, which is very good at the sound of it, but it does tend to get a bit grainy in low light. But then there are a lot of high-end smartphones which also tend to get grainy in the low light. Now talking about the front camera, it has a VGA camera, which pretty much says it all. Not very good for video conferencing. And if you're the kind of person who likes to take selfies, then maybe not this one. Now, when it comes to connectivity, it has 3G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, FM radio, the works, so it pretty much works when it comes to connectivity, covering almost all the mediums. It has an 1800 milliamperes battery, which will last you pretty much the entire day, but then you can never really have enough battery or balance on your smartphone, can you? The internal memory on the Carbon Titanium S5 Plus is 4 GB, which is pretty much standard, but it is expandable up to 32 GB with the help of a micro SD card. Now, when it comes down to what matters most, well, this phone is priced at 9K, as low as 9K, so all those features packed into just 9,000 rupees. So if you're the kind of person who's looking for a budget smartphone and does not want a Windows phone, you're looking out for an Android phone, this surely is what I would recommend to you.
Now all those features under 10,000 rupees. Wow, Carbon is really trying to make its mark in the budget smartphone space. Now, talking about making a name for yourself, Blackberry has been struggling in the Indian smartphone scenario. But recently they came up with an operating system update for the BB10 users and all the Blackberry enthusiasts. Let's take a look at that. Blackberry is back, and this time it's come up with a new OS update for Blackberry 10 users. The Canadian handset maker has come up with an update for its loyalists to now be more productive and connected.
Over the last year, we've got a lot of feedback, and what we've done is we've not only been listening, but we've actually incorporated a lot of that feedback, starting from something as little as the incoming call screen. And there you go, as soon as I get an incoming call, you'll see that the complete gesture, the complete UI has changed. This is a completely new gesture. We now come with a function called as Reply Now, which means if you see a little BBM icon here, I could simply tap on it and use one of the pre-populated templates, say I'm busy and I can't take your call. I'm going to go ahead and unlock my device where we've implemented something called as picture password. What this allows a user to do is select a number on the screen and a picture to where he would drag that number. As an example, I've selected a specific number. What this does is it utilizes a completely randomized algorithm on the rows and the columns. Every time I try to unlock it, it's actually going to give me a different number sequence. What this allows you to do is, even if you're performing the unlock sequence with anyone looking over your shoulder, there's no way on earth they could potentially guess your password.
The update will be available for Blackberry 10 smartphones like Q5, Z10 and Z30.
It's not really a simple lock screen which presents the date and the event information. It was also a lock screen which gave you information of what emails, what SMS, what BBMs you have. With the next OS update, we take that one step ahead. It's not only previews, but I could actually action on these previews.
Alongside customized pin gestures to filter Blackberry Hub, actionable lock screen notifications, and picture password for quickly unlocking, now you will also be able to listen to local FM stations on your Blackberry devices.
OA 104.8 FM पर मैं हूँ अभय आपके साथ. मुझे मैसेज करके OA स्पेस अपना गाना स्पेस अपना नाम.
Sure, something to look forward for Blackberry enthusiasts. Now, do you want to know something exciting? Last year, Samsung came out with the Samsung Galaxy Gear alongside the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. And this year, they've slashed the prices for it, and now you can buy yourself a Galaxy Gear for about 15,000 rupees. But is it worth the money? Now, Samsung came out with the Galaxy Note 3 last year and everyone was in love with this smartphone. Note 3 had it all, and Samsung tried to add spice to the smartphone by giving a wearable along with it. Meet the Galaxy Gear. Yes, it's a watch that you wear, but what I think is that a watch should be a timeless piece of art and not something that can be updated every 3 months. That's, well, a personal choice. Samsung Galaxy Gear is more like an extension of the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 and now can also work with the Galaxy S4, Galaxy Note 10.1 2013 edition and Galaxy S3. When we look at the design of the Samsung Galaxy Gear, for some strange reason Samsung chose a fluorescent color to send us for a review. It is bright and stylish for sure. The combination of brushed metal, fluorescent rubber and buttonless front is clean and beautiful. There is just one button on the gear and just one USB charging port. Navigation is just done by using touch gestures. It has a 1.6-inch display, but a 320:320 resolution makes it sharp enough to read small texts. In a way, it replaces your smartphone, but you do need your smartphone to set it up via NFC. And not just any smartphone, only the Samsung Galaxy series would do. To set it up, tap the gears back to the back of your smartphone and then it automatically connects via Bluetooth to your device. It is practical, though we would have loved more apps onto the gear than it presently houses. Galaxy Gear also houses a 1.9 megapixel camera on it, which is fairly easy to use and also wirelessly stores pictures onto your smartphone. But then again, you cannot Skype through it. The connectivity range is also good. The battery on the gear is a 315 mAh one, which Samsung says will last you for 25 hours. But with us, well, let's just say I don't want to talk about it. All I have to say is that you'll have to charge it every night alongside your smartphone. The great point about the gear is that now you can feel like a secret agent talking to your wrist, and the quality is quite impressive. What we didn't like is that you don't get email compatibility and Skype, and now you can get one of these for as low as Rs 15,000, which definitely makes it attractive. But there is still something lacking on the Galaxy Gear, and our best guess is that it's a SIM card slot. So well, if you want a gimmicky piece of accessory to complement with your Note 3, sure, this will not disappoint you at all, and it will actually only keep you happy for some time. Haters will hate it and loyalists will love it. As for me, apart from charging it every single night, I actually find it practical and nice. Now, Samsung always comes out with flashy stuff, don't they? And on that note, it's time for us to take a very short break on this show. But you don't go anywhere because there's a lot more shiny gadgets and gizmos coming your way on the other side.